Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, Sean Henry here, aka SistaSense, and we are once again officially inside the Reach Project. What we're going to do as part of this 12-week series is I'm going to talk you through 4 weeks of working on from prep to promotion your very own freebie funnel. So let's dig in. As always, inside the Reach Project, my goal is to work on with you several things: building an online audience, expanding your brand, attracting social media followers, signups, and sales, establishing your expert credibility, attracting media attention, leads, and customers too, essentially doing what you need to do to work on building a community, right? Building a community around your brand visibility. So that's our agenda. We have been working on the Reach Project for several weeks now, and for our final 4 weeks, my goal is for us to work on freebie funnels. So let's talk about this. I've mentioned this a few times over the last few weeks because it's so important to, of all the things that you can do online, get intentional about consistently working on your signups and sales, getting new people to opt into your email list and getting new customers to purchase your products, right? So to help you with both of these things, for the next 4 weeks, we are going to work on the Freebie Project. The idea is that you work on attracting your first 100 subscribers or your next 100 subscribers by intentionally creating a fabulous freebie that's going to work for them and work for you too. Now, we're going to break this process all the way down into the parts of prepping and producing so that you can publish and promote. But for today, we're going to work on your ideas, okay? So first, let me just, again, walk you through the idea of what this freebie funnel is supposed to be. Essentially, imagine someone going to your landing page, right, where they are able to put in their name and their email address, and then they're able to download or access some sort of a free resource that you have put together. And then immediately, once they opt in, you take them to an upsell, the main thing that you're trying to sell. And so you're going to take them from your landing page, that's called a squeeze page, where they can put in their name and their email address for the freebie, opt into your email list, right? You're going to take them from there to a main offer that you're trying to sell. And ideally, on that sales page, you also can showcase an upsell offer. So outside of the main offer, they have the opportunity to purchase something additional that is going to maximize their results, that's going to give them more bang for their buck, that's going to ultimately increase your profit per sale. So you've got your freebie offer, your main offer, your upsell offer, right? That's basically the funnel that we're trying to work on, number one. But of course, outside of that initial sales funnel, there's also a nurturing email sequence that you can put together in the back end, where over a course of several days, and in this case, we're going to work on a 5-day funnel. You can check in with them, give them an opportunity to get to know you and your offers too, okay? And outside of putting the funnel together, we're going to talk about driving traffic to it, link in bio, auto DMs, all the things. So let's start off this process by talking about what your main offer, the paid offer that you're trying to sell, is going to be, and then essentially how you can create a freebie that you can clearly connect to your paid offer so the both of them create a compelling, irresistible offer to your qualified leads, right? Your potential customers. Now, when it comes to creating a low price point entry offer, which is ideally what you want for a freebie funnel. You're not trying to give them a freebie and say, here, pay me $1,000. You're trying to kind of ease them into working with you and buying from you. So ideally, you want to give them an offer that is an LPP. For me, that's something that basically is anywhere between $7 to $97, right? And when I talk about LPP, low price point products, they're under $100. So there are lots of different types of paid offers you can produce for the freebie funnel. I recommend thinking about a main offer that's great for a newbie, somebody who is at the beginning stage if you're trying to sell an information product, or somebody who's new to your business if you're trying to sell pretty much anything, like a physical product, anything, to be honest with you, right? So a newbie, number one, or a next stepper, number two, somebody who is a previous customer who has worked with you, an ideal customer. We'll talk about that in a second. But a previous customer who has worked with you before, and now they're looking to do more, right? So they completed something in your process, in your program, in your business, and now you want to produce a next step solution for them. What does that look like? What would that be? Okay, so essentially you want to think about who you're trying to attract, who you're trying to convert when it comes to putting this freebie funnel together. It could be a newbie, number one, or a next stepper, number two, and essentially that's somebody who's already worked with you, right? They've been able to get value, invest in something from you, and now you want to create the next thing for them to be able to take that next step, whatever that looks like, right? And then we've got the conversation of producing something for an ideal customer, right? An ideal customer isn't necessarily somebody who's already worked with you and you're looking to take them to a, like, if you think about levels, you're looking to take them to a next level. It could be a product that is completely different from something that previous customers have purchased from you, but right now in this season, in this time, this is what you're looking to put your effort and energy into, right? Maybe you're pivoting, maybe you're going in a different direction. And again, it doesn't have to be a connection to someone or some type of person from the past, okay? You're just like, of the things that I've sold before, I really want to focus on fill in the blank a lot more. This is my target offer. This is my target ideal customer, okay? So those are some things I want you to think about when it comes to creating your main offer. And for me, the freebie always is something that I can pull from the main thing, okay? Do you need to produce a main thing right now, right? Or do you need to produce an upsell right now? To be honest with you, all parts of the selling process are really fluid, and I never try to expect you to do all the things in like a really, 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 really short period of time, right? I love to talk about how I can QC, quickly create quality content, but you got to work within your personal bandwidth, right? So if you do have an upsell, great, but if you don't, I always love to remind people that at the end of the day, as a solopreneur, you are your best product. Being able to give people access to you, being able to give people opportunities to experience working with you directly or getting something done by you directly, these are things that you can add on as an upsell without spending days, weeks, or even months producing something completely new, right? So what does that mean in layman's terms? Your upsell could be one-on-one time working with you, being coached by you, a real-time experience that you put together and you package. Again, those kind of things aren't overly time-consuming or even overly expensive. I think, to be honest with you, if you're creative enough, you can give people the opportunity to book a call with you or create some sort of in-person or virtual experience to having direct access to you as an upsell offer. And again, this is in the case of those who you have something main that you want to sell, but you don't necessarily have a bigger upsell offer to connect to that main, okay? Now, we'll go into visuals about that or what that might potentially look like in a second, but what I want to do now is actually talk to you about the heart of this 4-week experience, and that is creating a freebie from start to finish and doing all the technical parts of putting it together. So if you have a lead magnet that you want to focus on promoting right now, that's fine. I always talk about my CUD method. Do you need to create something new, update something you already have, or designate more time to simply focus on promoting, marketing, making the most of something you already put together? It doesn't need to be created. It doesn't need to be updated. You just need to intentionally designate more time to maximize it, get the most out of it, make it work better for you, okay? The C, the D, U, the D, create, update, designate. Now, regardless of where you are in the process, I always like to start off with, let's be clear about things that actually work, things that I've done that you can do, that you can mirror, okay? So if you don't already have a freebie lead magnet in mind, PYP, now's the time to pick your project. I'm going to give you examples of all of these, okay? So the first one is creating an idea guide. Now, this is based on freebies that I've created and also just in my research, just really diligently watching my competitors and other successful entrepreneurs, the kind of freebies that convert. You can give pretty much anything away for free, but how do you intentionally motivate people to go from a free offer to a paid offer? There are very specific type of offers where that works, right? Some work better than others. So one is being able to give people an idea guide, and then when they are able to review your guide of ideas, you can then clearly say, now that I've shown you what you can do, let me walk you through how to do it, right? When it comes to connecting, I call this my sell and tell method, right? In your freebie, you're basically telling them what they can do. And in the paid offer, you're selling them how to do the thing, right? Tell the what, sell the how. The telling them what to do is free. The selling them how to do it, that's where the revenue comes in, okay? I've done this a lot of times. And if you look at the types of lead magnets people create, they call them all kind of different things. Regardless of what kind of format or the content, if you give someone an idea guide, right, that's inspirational, and when they look at that list, they find at least a couple of things they want to do, the next natural question is how? How to do that thing, right? And so if you make yourself, your product, the solution to the how, that's how you get people to, in their mind, right? We talk about the psychology of sales. You get people to, in their mind, come to the realization that you have the how. You are the key. What you have is the key to them getting access to how to do the thing they want to do. Okay? I have one of the examples that I can give you is something called ideas to income, right? And as I go through these freebie funnel ideas, feel free to make notes, ask questions, all the things, but I'm visual, so let me pop one of my visuals on the screen for you. Ideas to income. Okay, so I've got lots of different templates and guides and strategies and all the things. Here's one of my guides. It's called 21 Ways to Turn Your Ideas into Income. Okay? And when I produced this particular series, right, I'm going to scroll through it all the way to the ending. So I can share some things with you at the ending. Okay. So when I created this particular series, I was doing a actual training, a program, and actually giving people an opportunity to put those ideas into income to create content that they turn into cash flow. Content to cash flow is one of the things that I teach, kind of like one of my signature programs. And we inside the circle, we're actually going to do a content to cash flow series coming up literally real soon over the course of 12 weeks because, again, it's something that I like to do, if not every year, every couple of years. So when I put this ideas to income solution set together, at the end of the guide, I talk about next steps. And one of the next steps as part of this was, okay, let's actually work on taking one of your ideas and turn it into income as part of the content to cash flow program that I was leading at that time. Now, inside of ideas to income, I also talk about some of my favorite tools, right? People are going to want to know how to do things and what they can use to get started. So one of the things that I talk about when it comes to creating freebies and getting paid with free is not only can you use a freebie to intentionally sell your things, you can also sell OPP, other people's products. So you can make money from a free resource by saying, hey, by the way, here are several resources, several some of the things that I use that you can use too. Funny enough, I think yesterday I got my monthly commission check from ConvertKit, which is the email platform that I use for marketing, but you can also sell products on ConvertKit, among other things, right? And I'm also always proactively letting people know about this particular tool that I love to use, right? So strategically giving people a list of ideas and or a list of resources that are helpful to them, connecting your free offer to the next step. Like you see at the bottom, it says ideas to income, next step solutions. So after they read this guide, what's the next step that I want them to take? I want them to get better at turning ideas into income, at turning content into cash flow. Join the program, right? What's the next step here? A little bit of backstory about me. Always like to share that in my resource guides, because when you have people's attention, you want to strategically mention all the things that give them opportunities to learn not just the topic at hand, but learn more about you, learn more about what you do, learn more about your products too, right? So how they can work with me is also something here. It says, hey, you can start with a 60-minute clarity call, and here you can find information about that. And then also make sure that you look at the ideas to income next step solutions, ... right? So what would that look like for you to, number one, create an idea list, and then what kind of offers or opportunities could you connect to that list, right? Now, there are two versions of this guide, because not only did I make it to strategically give it away to people on my email list, I made two versions of it. There's the full version, and I even sold this one. At some point, I was proactively selling this one, and then I kind of put it in the vault and went on to the next thing. But I've got the 21 ways, and then I have the 3 of 21 ways, right? So a full-blown list with everything, or you could take that, if you're like, oh man, this is really juicy, you could sell that list as a low price point offer and then maybe take pieces of it and make that a freebie, give the whole list away for free. It really, the sky's the limit as far as how you can do this thing. The whole one, I think, was 40 pages, and this mini one is just a few of the ideas, and this one, I believe, is 16 of the 40 pages. And then if I go down to the bottom, what does it say here? Still has a little bit about me. It says here, I would love to break down all of the 21 ways, download the 21 ways, plus get the 7 days ideas to income challenge. Go here. So using it as a freebie, as part of a funnel, to get people into the content to cash flow program, strategy number one, selling it as a low price point product, giving people the opportunity to get 3 of 21, and then when they get all 21, they also get a 7-day challenge. That was strategy number 2, right? So oftentimes I will either talk to you about starting your funnel off with a free offer, or starting your funnel off with an LPP, low price point offer, or a $7 solution. Whether it's free or practically free, either strategy gives you an opportunity to give people a taste of your higher price point offers and or higher ticket experiences, right? So that's freebie option number 1, idea guides. Number 2 is a private podcast, right? So a couple of years ago, I noticed several influencers in my circle who are very, very active podcast marketers turning from simply creating public podcasts to private podcasts on 2 different levels. Either creating a free private podcast where, unlike being able to go on Google or Spotify or Apple and just press play and find it and listen to it, you have to opt into it. Like a private page, you sign up and you get access to it. It wasn't publicly searchable or accessible. So that's one type of private podcast, number 1. And then another type, private podcast, number 2, is turning it into a revenue stream. Quite a few people I've seen not only have their podcast available for the public, but then they'll have some that you can, in order to listen to certain episodes or certain full seasons, you'd have to pay for it, right? Kind of like when we watch Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, we got to pay for that. Or if we go on to, Audible and we want to listen to somebody's audiobook, we got to pay for it, right? So people are looking at other ways to get smart about monetization and marketing, not just having public podcasts, private ones that you have to sign up to and opt into to access and or pay for to access, okay? So a great example of that is a podcast that for our experience, for our series, I actually launched today, right? I've been working on audio for many years. It's like my go-to as far as creating digital products. One of my favorite types of products to produce is audios, right? And I was actually going down memory lane and looking at some of my old school audio products and even CDs. Oh my gosh, nobody buys CDs anymore. But back in the day, not only creating digital audios, but creating information-based audios, all the things. It's always been my thing, right? So in an effort to both offer you visual examples of what you can do and show you that a lot of these things do not have to take weeks or even months, I wanted to be able to produce in literally a matter of hours a private podcast example. So today I dropped digital dollars, and I'm going to show you that. And there are 2 versions of this particular project, okay? So let's take a look at the free version and then the paid version. Okay, so let's go over to Chrome, and the digital dollars podcast is at SistaSense.site. Got a new URL. So I've got SistaSense.com, SistaSense.co, SistaSense.shop. I've got SistaSense.site. And if you go to DDP, you can listen to the Digital Dollars podcast from yours truly. Okay. I'm going to teach how to create different things, both as part of our 4 weeks together for the Freebie Funnel project. And I'm also going to be teaching how to produce different types of digital products as part of the Content to Cash Flow series that we're doing as well. So every week for the next couple of weeks, we've got different projects for you to dig into, right? And one of the things I'm excited about this year is I always love to drop new templates on you guys. And this is a new one. This is a new good. I, believe it or not, built this in, drumroll please, Canva. Canva is bae, okay? and they've really stepped up their game when it comes to creating web pages on the Canva platform. And I've really been enjoying the last several months, end of last year, going into this new year, producing nice original templates on the platform that I don't see anybody doing. Like, really, I just need to, have somebody just sound the alarm and be like, y'all need to be looking at LaShonda because y'all ain't doing it. I don't want to just create regular web pages. I want to be doing things that people are not doing on Canva for Canva pages. And this is one of them. So using my creativity, I have put this podcast page together. It is mobile friendly, and this is private. It is not accessible on, and by the way, I use different platforms for podcasts, right? So I've got my Apple podcast, I've got a podcast on Spotify. You can Google SistaSense and podcast and find those, right? This one is private. This is for people who are on my email list, okay? And so in this podcast, I'm talking about real ways to make real money online. And my goal is to introduce people to some of the things that I've done over the last 20 plus years when it comes to consistent revenue and sales, okay? Different concepts, different strategies that I've done, okay? So again, not public to everyone. They have to be on my list or opt into my list to get access to this. Y'all are on my list, so there you go. So this is the SistaSense.site/DDP if you didn't already see it in your inbox today, okay? That's number one. Number two, one of the things that you'll see here in one of the integral threads that holds this Digital Dollars series together is that it's an introductory podcast to a more detailed audio series that's called Everyday Sales. So let's click on Everyday Sales. I'm going to take you over here, and this is where I share another set of audios that I have been quietly working on, this one for several weeks. Okay. The other one I was able to knock out in a couple of hours because I always reverse engineer things, right? When I say that, I mean the main offer is this, Everyday Sales. And this took me several weeks to put together. The freebie offer that starts the funnel is Digital Dollars. And I was able to knock this out in a couple of hours because it's based on pieces of this, right? So that's something I want you to think about as well, because when you first have a main offer, when you create the freebie from the main, you can intentionally get people excited about the main offer, right? So, for example, I'll give you two examples. The first episode of Digital Dollars is about something to sell, right? How you can work on selling things that sell well, and I share 3 things that have sold well for me over the years, right? I also mentioned that those 3 things are detailed in an ebook I created called The Bestseller Blueprint, right? And at some point I said, well, side note, I'm sure you're going to ask me, LaShonda, where's the Bestseller Blueprint? Okay, well, if you sign up to Everyday Sales, you can access that over there, okay? So that was an incentive, number one. Why would you want to sign up to Everyday Sales outside of just listening to this free podcast? Because in there, I have other resources that you are probably going to want or may be curious about. So piquing people's curiosity, right? Number one. Number two, I talk about easy, irresistible offers. I call it the Old McDonald effect. When I talk about EIOs, I cannot help but sing Old McDonald. So that's why I call it the Old McDonald effect, right? But when I talk about easy, irresistible offers and why you should have them and how they are useful, I also talk about, well, let me show you how to make them. Let me show you how to put them together And these are things, by the way, that I can break down for you inside the Everyday Sales series. Because as part of it, we're doing the content to cash flow, we're doing the freebie funnels. And so it's an opportunity for me to kind of give people like breadcrumbs, pieces of the main offer in this offer. Okay? That's, again, my sell and tell method. You tell the what, you sell the how, right? Freebie funnels don't work just by creating freebies and then hoping that people will buy your stuff, right? If the freebie that you've put together doesn't clearly entice and or motivate them to buy something, they're not going to buy anything. They're going to take the freebie, they're going to go, thanks for the freebie, and they're going to walk away. Okay? So there's got to be some clear connections from the free offer, between the free offer and the main offer. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So my goal is to, number one, reactivate old customers with this series, and then also to introduce my knowledge to new customers using this private podcast. And then a part of the process, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later when it comes to driving traffic to your freebie, right? A part of this is, for me, I'm going to take some of these same audios and turn them into videos that I can use on social media platforms, so I can take people off of social media, get them to opt in to get this free series, and then learn about this paid series, right? So, again, reverse engineer it. So you're going to have the paid offer, but how do they get to the sales page? Well, a lot of times I send people to my sales pages via email, right? Well, how do you email them? Well, you got to give people value on your email list. That's how you get them on your email list, right? So I consistently give free things to my email subscribers. Giving them access to a free podcast is just another opportunity to do that, right? But, well, okay, you got an email list. Great, Lashonda, that's great for you. How do I get people on my email list? Okay, well, use what's accessible to you. You've got video marketing, you've got YouTube, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook. Take some of your private podcast pieces, put that on YouTube video, or use a public podcast, right? I could easily, well, I do plan on doing this, take some of these and introduce people to the Digital Dollar series in my free podcast. So they can say, oh, wow, I want to listen to the Digital Dollar series. All right, then opt in, become a subscriber. And then when you listen to the Digital Dollar series as a subscriber, you go, ooh, I want to learn more about the bestseller blueprint. I want to learn more about how you make everyday sales. Okay, we'll go from Digital Dollars as a subscriber to everyday sales as a paying customer. Access that as a paying customer. Okay, so private podcasts is another type of funnel, and like I said, I've pretty much got different versions of them, and creating them, building out main offers that connect to them. The Digital Dollars Everyday Sales example is one of them, one of the newer ones that I've put together, and hopefully that's an example that offers you some ideas of what you can do. So the next one here is the virtual vault. Okay, so what is that? What's a virtual vault, Lashonda? Well, if you're somebody like me, possibly over time you got one, two, more than a few freebies, right? I've had people come to me and they're struggling because they are overwhelmed with lead magnets and landing pages. They don't know which is the one that's going to convert well for them. They've got funnels. Some of them are old. Some of them are new. Some of them are broken too. And they're just all over the place, right? One of the things that I recommend, and I even do, is to, as opposed to having like 5 different lead magnets and 5 different landing pages, create one. Create one vault, one library where they get access to several things in one location, okay? I've seen entrepreneurs do this successfully. I've done it myself, and that's something that you can do specifically if you're someone who has multiple freebies and you want them to work for you simultaneously. You can put them in one space. So let's take a look at what that would look like. I'm going to go over to SistaSense.com/moneymakers. So I have something called my Moneymakers mini course. I was selling it last year, and I am giving it away for free strategically this year, okay? I was going to do it for 30 days. I've decided to extend it because I'm actually changing this page. And as opposed to just showing, oh, you can sign up to the Moneymakers mini course, I'm changing it to you can access the Moneymakers mini vault, right? And I'm going to show you what the vault looks like because it's already actually in here. So let me put in my name and my email like that, and click on show me the money, okay? So the person signs up, they get access to the Moneymakers course, okay? So they can start the course, okay? Now, let me show you the course has some really cool videos in here. Like I said, I was selling this last year, and I decided to strategically test out using it as a freebie this year, right? One of the things that they get inside the mini course is the vault. Let me show you what that looks like, okay? So there are quite a few things in this. This is, believe it or not, another Canva template. I did this one last year. You know, a lot of my pages, I just love how clean, like you can see at the bottom, it says designed with Canva. I love how clean and easy it is to, you know, use these templates, drag and drop your stuff in, and depending upon what we do next, I will definitely give you access to some templates that you can use to work on putting your things together. If you don't already have access to some of these templates already. But I'll let you know that when we get into actual production. Right now is about coming up with an idea, and if you do want to go the next step and actually start producing things, great. Some of you already have some of these templates, and or you can check in with me one-on-one via your own personal private calls, whatever the case may be, okay? But this is an example of a library, right? That somebody can come here, they can access my course, they can access something called Moneymakers Monthly. There's free guides, there's free training, there's free classes in here. There's opportunities for them to learn more about other vaults that I've created. They can literally figure out, using my template, using this template, how to create their own vaults. They can access other SistaSense vaults. They can join my group. They can ask me questions. All of this is clickable, right? So for example, if you go on free guide and you click that, it's going to take them to a guide, 15 list building tools and resources, right? So there are downloadables in here, trainings in here, a mini course in here, and this is a library, right? As you can see, the drop-down menu here, click to start, click to go to mini course, click to download freebies, click virtual vault, click for support. So there's a menu, and it kind of goes through the different parts. Love this. Thank you. This is like a new version, updated version to the vaults template that I produced either last year or the year before last year. But the idea here is, like I said, for those of you who you strategically do create lead magnets for your audience, and it may be a little bit overwhelming to manage 5+ lead magnets, and you feel like it's time for you to create something that you can consolidate them all. You can promote each of them individually, but then instead of having to send them to different pages, you can send them to one page, okay? And this is an example of that. The virtual vault freebie option number 3. Option number 4, taste testers, right? I always, you know, I feel like you guys are like, oh my God, LaShonda, you tell me the same stories like every time you talk to me. I used to listen to other people do that and go, why do they do that? And now I do that obsessively. But I always talk about taste testers, giving people samples. They try a little and they want to buy more, right? And so the freebie funnel is something I've been able to effectively do for many years, to using automation, using funnels, introduce people to products and then get them into basically like a profit pipeline where they get the freebie, they get the free offer, and then they buy the paid offer, right? So an example of that is my Brand Like a Boss toolkit. This is something that I've taught for many years. So let me go over to SistaSense.com/BT Kit. Okay, so BT Kit is my Brand Like a Boss toolkit, okay? It's got some cool things in there, some tools, some templates, worksheets, free stock photos, brand marketing classes, all the things, okay? This is where the funnel starts. So let's go put the name in and hit download the free toolkit, okay? So they do get a PDF, and they get in that PDF links to things that they can purchase. Now, once they opt in, they're going to get an email with the PDF. I'll show you that in a second, but then immediately they go to an upsell. I used to send them to another page. The page was my Brand Like a Boss bundle. Okay, so I'm like, now that you got the toolkit, get the bundle. And I sold the bundle for many years. Last year, I updated the kind of things I had in that bundle, but I also put it in like on steroids because I created Brand U. There's the starter kit. There's the bundle. There's like a bunch of stuff in it, right? So I decided for people who are still able to opt in for the Brand Like a Boss toolkit, they can then go and learn about the Brand U bundle, which includes the Brand Like a Boss bundle, because it's one of my older products, but it's evergreen. It's still got valuable content in there. I just kind of added it to all the things I put into this new one here, right? So let's go to my Google Drive real quick, just so I can show you those two. Brand Like a Boss, the toolkit. Okay, many of these things I designed in Canva. This is one of my favorite designs here. I think I have templates that have this design as well, with the ability to have like a cover and have multiple photos on the cover. But yeah, basically this is a free toolkit. They come in here, very easy to access. It's 8 pages. They click, they can watch trainings or download resources, web tools that are about branding, right? And then on the flip side, there's the Brand Like a Boss bundle, very similar design, right? Because I like to keep the designs similar, keep the format, so that it feels like you're just kind of naturally going from one to the next. It's a funnel, right? So you kind of want them to naturally build from one thing to the next. And very similar design. It's just what's inside. There's more inside of this than the other one. They paid for it, so there's more stuff in here. And then, like I said, that one, can I give you a year? Brand Like a Boss bundle toolkit. What's the year on this? Oh, I don't see the year on this. It's a couple of years old. I don't see the date on this one, but it's a couple of years old. And then the Brand U bundle, the design is different because it's new. I've gone in a different direction with the bundle design, but it's very similar to the Brand Like a Boss toolkit and the Brand Like a Boss bundle. It's got pieces in here: the starter kit, the brand kit, brand events, brand marketing, brand content, bonus bundle. The bonus bundle, I think, in the bonus bundle, Brand Like a Boss is in there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because there are a couple of things in the bonus bundle: the boot camp, stock photos, and then I think Brand Like a Boss is in here too. I just can't see it at the moment. I think, is it this one, the BOGO bundle? It is. It is. All right. So, like I said, I took my older Brand Like a Boss bundle and made it one, as you can see, one of like a lot of other things. in the bigger brand you bundle. I'm always a firm believer in, number one, creating evergreen content that you can sell for many years, because it's no like date or time. The content, the material is timeless. But then I always want to make sure that I'm giving people the best updated content. So being able to CUD, go back and you update my brand training, my brand templates and resources, create a new version of that, but then also give people the opportunity to, take advantage of the older version if they want to. That's basically what you have here, okay? So creating a teaser toolkit, right, that I can link to a bigger kit of resources for purchase, okay? And the last one here is the sneak peek PDF, right? And I kind of showed you one example of that when I talked about 21 ideas that you can turn into income. I showed you not only did I make the 21 ideas one, then once that was done, I pulled out 3 of the 21 and made a smaller sneak peek PDF. I love to do that strategy all the damn time. Okay. So one example of that is Moneymakers Monthly. Okay. Let me show you the Moneymakers Monthly. I think there are like 7 issues now. Let me show you. Yes. Okay. So this is issue number 5 of Moneymakers Monthly. So what is this? This is a monthly series that I have put together, and it's a low price point resource, an opportunity for me to give people some of my templates and tools and trainings at a reduced rate. So if they didn't get to access them when they were live or when they were newly launched, they get access to them as part of this digital PDF, right? So here's Moneymakers. This says what? Issue number 5, right? There's audios for them to listen to, number 1. There are some articles on making money, monetization, sales, number 2. There are videos that they can have easy click access to. I like to call these little tweetables, like different strategies and just short form copy that are useful, short tips and things that I can share. Sometimes I will actually link these to social media posts. Like I probably made something that looks just like this on TikTok or Instagram. So if they were to click it, they would go to one of my social media profiles. I don't always make these clickable, but sometimes I do. Meaningful quotes, things that they can download. So in this issue, they can download my morning magic guide. I always like to give different types of things that are interactive. So downloadables, number 1, and some of them, they have printables, number 2, or templates, forgive me. So I made a set of printable templates, and they can get some of those. They just click it, and click, and then they, not that, click here. That's why reading is fundamental. It says click here, and then they could download those templates, right? So there are a lot of things in Moneymakers that they get here. This is download. There's more downloads. Good Morning Girl Boss, Momentum worksheets, more videos. You get the gist, right? This is a part of my Momentum series. These are printable worksheets that they can access. So there are quite a few things in here, okay? And these issues are anywhere between 16 to 32 pages per month. The average size that I've put together for these are 16 to 20 pages. And when I do like a special edition that's bigger, I'll make those 28 to 32 pages. That's when I feel the time, like I have the time to do it. Or for whatever reason, I want that to be like a special issue. So again, it's a monthly subscription, starts at $7, but this is an example of one of the issues, right? Here is the sneak peek. Okay, so here's a sneak peek of that issue. Number 1, it includes the article, because this is one of my favorite articles that I wrote a while ago, but I always love to share it and repurpose it because it's a really valuable piece of information number one. And then number two, video. So some of the same things that are in it, basically, not all of it, but some of the same things that are in the main issue are in here, right? Let's scroll. Okay, so principles, right? I could have given access to download this printable in the sneak peek, but I did not. Here's what I did. I said unlock free templates inside Moneymakers so that you can, get this. So I want them to see what they can get, but they don't necessarily get it in the sneak peek. It's what I call this eye candy. If you either want to get template printables or you want to get monthly templates, it's an incentive to join the program, right? You got to give people a reason to try and or buy. And in this case, while I could have just given them free templates, I'm like, the free guide is enough. You have to know also when to turn off the faucet. When it comes to freebies, sometimes we can put ourselves in a place where we're like, okay, you get this for free, you get this for free, you get this for free. You want to, number one, intentionally connect the free offers to the paid offers. And number two, you don't want to drown them in so many freebies that they never really buy anything because they just always wait for the next freebie, right? So I want to incentivize this sneak peek, yes, by adding value so they don't feel like it's just LaShawn just gave me a freebie, but it's all about stuff that's going to sell me. No, there's stuff you could take away absolutely free. But then if you do want to get certain things, you have to take the next step and pay for it, right? And so there's that, number one. Then here's another page, number two. Now, in the other one, you saw this page, and it had a quick tip, something about 20 minutes a day, being productive or whatever. This one's slightly different. It says, this guide is a sneak peek of Moneymakers. Click the link below to unlock half off. So another incentive. Do I always give people the opportunity to buy Moneymakers half off? No. But I'm going to drop little discounts and links in different places as limited time offers to motivate people to go from the free offer to the paid offer. You notice it says no thanks and tell me more. Why? Why? Because some people go, oh yeah, half off. I like this. I'm ready. They'll click on the tell me more. But either some people already have it or they don't want it. And if that's the case, I'm not going to miss out on an opportunity to downsell them on something else. So I'm going to give them options. So let's click. First, let's click the no thanks. Okay. So no thanks takes them to a page where they can learn about one of my offers, which is getting 40% off my digital product starter kit. Okay. So this is just an example of, if you don't want this, how about that? Okay. I always say, when you have their intention, intentionally mention the things that you're strategically trying to sell. Okay. Now, if they hit tell me more, then they're going to go to the page to sign up to Moneymakers. And again, like I said, it's normally $7 a month, $17 for the quarter, or $77 for the year, but they can get half off here, $350, $850, and $38.50. And I've had people opt in at both price points, right? Half off and full price point, because I've made them available at several points, right? In different ways, different touch points, different resources. So that is, for me, let's go back into presentation mode. That is, for me, the final freebie that I wanted to share with you today, a sneak peek PDF, okay? And in this case, it's for a low price point offer. Now, it's worth mentioning that on the Moneymakers page, if you scroll down, it says, click to unlock all issues free inside the SistaSense Circle monthly mastermind and mentorship program. Okay, so the thing about it is, I'm consistently working on how do I naturally get people to the next step in the funnel. And the next step of this is, outside of you getting these Moneymakers toolkits, these PDFs with do-it-yourself downloadable things every month, you can work with me as part of the community and the SistaSense circle. That's something that we're doing right now, right? So the incentive is you can pay for this, or you can get it for free as part of your SistaSense Circle membership experience, right? So naturally educating people on my offers and how they can take the next natural step to other offers that might be of interest to them. There are different types of funnels, but these are just certain things that I integrate into the types of funnels that I produce, so that even when I'm not directly talking to people, my products, my services, my pages, my marketing, my PDFs are indirectly talking to people for me. Okay? So hopefully this list of freebies, in this list, you've identified one that can work for you, okay? Either you have something similar or you can build on what I am sharing with you here, okay? And that's basically where we stop today. This is your opportunity to PYP, pick your project, and then go from idea to, from kind of preparing it to actually start producing it. And then I will go through the logistics of putting some of these together and just kind of showing you my processes and the next step, right? So you know me, I love the P's. We're going to go through in the 4 weeks all of these: planning, prepping, producing, publishing, and then actually promoting, working in Canva, working in ConvertKit, putting the pieces together, all the things, okay? If you have any questions, feel free to drop those now and or later. Like I said, idea guide, private podcast, virtual vault, taste tester toolkit, or a sneak peek PDF, right? People talk about freebies and they talk about lead magnets, and I just try to be different and offer you fundamental proven concepts, but in slightly different ways. So my approach to freebies, you may not have heard of some of these, or some of these may not have been presented to you in the way that I'm presenting them today, but hopefully it's something in here that's going to get you excited about creating something new, updating something you have, making more time to designate to proactively work on producing, or rather promoting, funnels that you have already put together. So let's see. Virtual vault and idea. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely love idea guides, and putting that virtual vault together. Definitely things that I think are going to, help you create more valuable content for your audience. Awesome. Yes, the replay for this is going to be in the SistaSense Circle as part of the Reach project, and then also a part of the Content to Cash Flow series, so that as we talk about over the course of 12 weeks how to turn content into cash flow, create and sell digital products, a part of that is understanding freebie funnels. So there are going to be a few different places where you'll be able to access this 4-part series on creating a freebie funnel. Definitely all of them inside the SistaSense circle. So, yay! Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, feel free to check in with me via email, voice message, all the things. Make sure you're in our community over at firestarters.sistasense.com. And if you have any questions about parts of this process, if you cannot hang out with me live, make sure you're checking in on the replay side so I can do my best to integrate your progress and or your questions into our next live session. That's it for today. Till next time, take care. Mwah. Bye.